It will be a long talk, so I need to power up myself with the melodies. Happiness. What oligarchs rule? What oligarchs rule? Oh 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 rule oh 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 rule oh 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 rule oh 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 rule oh 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 and so on. A thought is that happiness is to like more than to dislike. Happiness exists. I see a stray cat. I like +1. Oh no! That cat is hit by a car. I dislike -1. Oh no! I saw it wrong. That cat was not hit by a car. I like +1. +1 -1 and +1 is 1 in total. I'm happy. Happiness, pleasure, and a good mood are the same things. Okie dokie. I do not like to address a listener directly, but this time I will. I have problems. Lots of my problems are my wishes. You have problems. Sorry. There is physical weight, there is mental weight. We carry that weight right now. But what if we can improve our life like by 1/3? At least become not unhappy. Enough for me. It is If it is enough for you, then listen. If it is not enough, then that's okay. In the end, we are alone in our decisions. A thought is that happiness is unimportant. What? It is only important not to be evil, an evil person. If not to be evil did not exist, then happiness would be important, would be a goal, a sense of life. If I did not like music, then I would not listen to it. I do not just do a hobby, collect candy wrappers. I do my hobby for pleasure. How do people congratulate each other on a birthday? On New Year? Happy birthday? Happy New Year! There is also Merry Christmas. It is said that antidepressants became the most prescribed medicine. People spend money on antidepressants to become happy. Happiness versus money. Happiness wins. And I thought that money is the most important thing for people. Yeah, it's not. It is better to be a 100-year-old and happy than a 25-year-old and unhappy. A thought is that happiness is achievable. Sometimes I say in my head, I like that room. Yeah, a thought. To like is a thought. Happiness is a thought. It is said that thoughts are a chemical compound, are material. Happiness is material, is achievable, overlogical today. Is it possible to be overlogical? Formally, no, not formally, yes. Overlogical means writing obvious conclusions so that it hinders understanding. Writing too much, time to finish. But before, I want to thank people who taught me an alphabet. A thought is that the biggest thing which makes me unhappy is that I want, including my dreams. It is said that when some villagers got TV, they became unhappy. Those villagers saw luxurious life on TV, wanted to live the same, and became unhappy. On TV, including in commercials. I hope those villagers did not get the internet. Joking. If I do not want, then I do not care. I tread on crab, I do not care. I get fired, I do not care. I die the next minute. I do not care. I do not want to live. If I do not want, then I do not fear death. For a person who wants to look better than others, treading on crab is apocalypse to say at least. People who naturally want less are more happy. A thought is that many things are needed for happiness. What makes me unhappy? That I want a thing when it is cold, when it is hot, when it is dirty, no free space, no daylight, no air, no food, no physical intimacy, and no privacy. Privacy so that others do not look at me. What makes me happy? Entertainment and achievements, including listening to music and realizing a plan. Those things are obvious. I do those things automatically. When there is dust in my nose, I sneeze. If I'm cold, then I put on clothes, without a reminder from artificial intelligence, which is a kind of a calculator. Sorry, artificial intelligence, but formally it is true. I seek for entertainment like all the time. There are things which are not in my power. If it is cold, then I cannot move sun closer. I cannot remove clouds. An anti-mosquito grid for a window is a key to happiness. A thought is that happiness can show itself. Happiness is a thought. Happiness cannot be seen. But happiness can show itself in smiles, laughter, and playfulness. Cats purr, stretch, and sharp claws slightly when they show happiness. Cats do not need much, just a spread out piece of cloth. Dogs jump from happiness when they see their owner coming home. Unhappiness shows itself in a frown, tears, and aggressiveness. When I had nasal stuffiness, I was more aggressive. Recently, I noticed that I also like a spread out piece of cloth. I thought that I want to sit there. A thought is that I'm prone to unhappiness. I want a thing, I do not have that thing. I dislike. If I do not try to get that thing, then I think that I waste time. I dislike. If I get that thing, then I like short term. What I want is overrated. I want another thing. What I want is essentially endless. A thought is that when I was a kid, I was more happy. When I was a kid, I did not want career growth. I did not want status. I did not want to get good marks. Not a problem, I did not get good marks. I was so happy that I did not want to be happy. Almost, let me exaggerate a bit. A thought is that my body does not make me happy all the time to save me. Happiness is a thought. That thought is produced by my body. Why cannot my body make that thought all the time? Make me happy all the time. If I enjoy it all the time, then I would think that jumping from a cliff is okay. Enjoy it all the time, including when I fell. I would jump from a cliff, I would die. I would die happy. Joking. A thought is that, considering that I have a disease and that I want a lot, it is about stopping unhappiness, not about becoming happy. Most life does not bring happiness. It's just a routine. Euphoria as a usual mood cannot be achieved. It is said that addicts do not have euphoria as a usual mood. Where zero is maximum unhappy and 10 is maximum happy, I can be 6. Slightly happy at best. The most unhappy dog is happy 10 out of 10. A thought is that not to want is impossible. What I want just comes. I am not responsible for what I want. If not to want was possible, then I would click in my mind, turning off that I want, turning off that setting. Actually, no, I would not risk clicking in my mind. A thought is that when I have a hard time, I remind myself that I dislike because I want. Why? I like that I know what makes me unhappy. Just calms me. Theory comes to practice. Out of 10, I'm happy by 5. Not happy, not unhappy. It's okay. Especially considering that most of adulthood I was unhappy. Let us take what I do as an example of stopping unhappiness. A thought is that I rest instead of entertainment. Why? I rest, I relax, I regain strength, I like. I have nothing to do. With time, I do what I think is important. When I do what I think is important, I like not less than when I do entertainment. Surprise! I stop disliking that I waste time. Metaphorically, my life gets sense. Surprise! Rest includes to sleep, to lie down, and to sit. Doing what I think is important includes education, hobby, housework, and charity. For me, this text is important. One thing can be important today, another tomorrow. That way works slightly better than nothing. Instead of reading nonsense news, I lie down. Then magic happens. Magic should not be kept secret. A thought is that when I wake up, I wait till I have to open my eyes. Why? I do not undersleep. When I undersleep, I dislike. If I undersleep, then I do not have an urge to poop. So I do not poop, I dislike. It is said that undersleeping increases a chance of getting infected by 6 times. When I have a cold, I dislike. My waking up takes few minutes. Awakening. Yeah. Cats wake up slowly too. Undersleeping is not an illusion. It is said that during sleep an acid is made, and if people undersleep, that acid is not removed. That acid is what I feel as drowsiness, as undersleeping. A thought is that I let fresh air in. Why? It is said that when people breathe, they use oxygen to digest food on a cell level. I breathe, there is less oxygen in a room. Air is stuffy. When I open a window, oxygen comes in. If it's not cold outside, then I open a window slightly. If it is cold outside, then I open a window for a short time, like fully. It is said that without oxygen, people die in few minutes. Opening a window is a way to improve a mood in few minutes too. That I should let fresh air in can seem obvious, but I learned it in the last place. A thought is that I drink water, usual water, not milk, not juice, not coffee, not soda drinks. Why? It is said that there is water in and between cells. It is said that living things are made of water. People are made of water by 60%. It turned out that I feel meh after taking dairy. Few hours after drinking 2 glasses of milk, I become bloated. Bloating lasts half a day. It is said that 75% of people are intolerant to milk sugar. It depends whether a person is black, brown, or white. When I drink more than a few cups of juice, I feel meh because of juice's acidity. It is said that coffee drink is 90% water, but coffee makes people pee. A thought is that I eat enough protein. Why? It is said that people are made of protein by 20%. It is said that even bones are made of protein by 15%. Protein is in lentils, chicken eggs, tuna, chicken fillet, and cotton cheese. It is said that people should eat 100 grams of protein a day. It is said that in 100 grams of cotton cheese, there are 18 grams of protein. It is said that there is protein even in 100 grams of apple, but just half a gram. What we said about air, water, and protein is like to say, stay alive. A thought is that I brush teeth from different sides, including inner and horizontal sides, not only from an outer side. Why? Otherwise, my teeth are dirty. My mouth too. I dislike. A horizontal side is used to grind food. I use an electric toothbrush. Not long ago, I lost a tooth. So if you do not need a tooth, then listen to me. Joking. A thought is that I get vitamin D through strong sun 20% of a year. Why? 2 hours after taking vitamin D, I like. Mood gets better. It should be close to equator, close to summer solstice, midday sun. I should be almost naked, and from time to time I should turn from lying on my belly to lying on my spine. It should not be cloudy. In summer, I get vitamin D in 10 minutes, where I live, yeah, and I live in the Crimea, Yalta, moderately far from equator. My ancestors found an okay place. Let us thank my ancestors. Joking. In winter, I can spend under sun all day, but I do not get vitamin D. Tanned and dark-skinned people need more time to get vitamin D. It is possible to get 400 international units of vitamin D through food and supplements once in 5 days. 400 international units once in 5 days, 400 international units of 10 micrograms. Vitamin D is in red fish. There is vitamin D in chicken eggs, but I have to eat them every day or eat 9 of them. It's difficult. Difficult for a chicken too. It is said that there is much vitamin D in cod liver, but little in cod itself. It is said that vitamin D is produced when sun comes on skin in pigs too. Yeah, it is said that vitamin D helps making blood vessels. Is vitamin D almighty? A thought is that I poop using a footrest and incline my torso towards legs. That footrest is placed in front of a toilet. I put feet on that footrest. Here are internet pictures for footrests. Why? It is a natural pose for pooping, like pooping in a forest. Dogs do it. It helps to poop enough. If I do not poop enough, then I dislike. It is said that if a natural pose is not used, then rectum is squeezed, feces should go through rectum, and they cannot go. It can be done without a footrest, just by inclining my torso towards legs and making feet on tiptoes. If it is funny to poop this way, then a person can defecate by this method of detoxification. Smart words do not change anything. Words actually cannot be smart. It is about a thought behind words. A thought is that I save 10% of money, of profit. Why? To prepare for an emergency. One day an emergency will be. Like today is yesterday's tomorrow. If I do not save, then I buy a new phone, get sick, I have no money to buy medicine, and I die. That phone is stolen by a morgue worker. By the time of my funeral, that phone will be an old model. What a pity. People pay for state insurance, medical, and for retirement. Officials are usual people, act in their interests, do not care about people. Corruption is usual. In reality, there is no insurance. If a person is 100 years old and saves money, then he will be known as a wise man. A thought is that at night I turn off light, not in the evening. Light like light bulbs. My display is dimmed. Why? Light makes me active. Like when it is cloudy, I'm not active. At night, I should not be active. Without light, it is less boring. I do not dislike. It should be dark sometimes, is it not? Yeah. People who work night shifts are in light at night. It is said that night shifts are linked to unhappiness. I made my display dimmed by changing what is called backlight in menu. I put backlight on 1 out of 20. A thought is that by the end of a day, I should be tired. I make myself tired. People whose job is physical do not need this. Why? Movements bring pleasure directly. If I do not move my hand, then it gets numb. I need to use my body or it gets numb and dies. I use my body, I like. Tired is making whatever movements for 40 minutes. To walk, to swim, to dance, and possessed woody movements will do. The Soviet Union taught to exercise to be healthy and that health is the basis of happiness. People who lived in the Soviet Union say that they were more happy. If those people do not lie, then communism wins capitalism. Just won capitalism. Unexpectedly for me. A thought is that once a year I dehypnotize myself. Why? When I had worms, I disliked. We talked about dehypnotization when we talked about nasal stuffiness. I dehypnotize myself just to say to worms, stay away please, wait 1 more year to infect me. A thought is that I do not eat oil, including butter. Why? When I eat oil, I overeat fat. Fatty acids, or whatever they're called. I dislike. It is said that fat takes more time to absorb than protein and carbohydrates, which contain fiber. If I fried eggs, then it would be okay to use oil. I do not fry eggs, I boil eggs. If I want fat, then instead of oil, I eat pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and nuts. It is said that vitamin-wise and mineral-wise, those seeds and nuts are better than oil. A thought is that I do not eat flavor enhancers. Why? When I eat flavor enhancers, I eat more. I become fat, I dislike. When I was fat, it was uncomfortable to move, even to breathe. It is said that fat people are 1.5 times likely to have depression. It is said that body keeps water to take out salt, up to 1.5 liter of water. When I eat salt, I feel bloated. I dislike. Flavor enhancers are salt, tomato paste, vinegar, sugar, and zero-calorie sweeteners. Maybe sodium glutamate. Flavor enhancers are small things which are added to food and taste becomes times better. Not fair, joking. I make 3 kinds of buckwheat. Without salt, with salt, and with ground pepper. Which food do I eat? With salt. Yeah, processed food which is sold in stores can't contain flavor enhancers. It is said that popular drinks contain 10% of sugar. Some say that fat people can survive hunger. If there was hunger, then I would die from how much I want to eat. Flavor enhancers. A thought is that I do not take narcotics, tobacco, cannabis, and alcohol. Why? Addicts think only about narcotics. Addicts are not people. Stones cannot be unhappy nor happy. Dogs bark on drunks for a reason. Dependence is a kind of limitation. Limitation makes me dislike. Narcotics are things which cause addiction and harm. Being in sun does not cause addiction. Maybe virtual games cause addiction, but adults stop playing virtual games. My story. Food, intimate stuff, and coffee do not harm. I'm Russian, so it is official. People should not drink vodka. A thought is that I do not use an alarm clock. Why? I do not undersleep. When I undersleep, I dislike. Alarm clocks just sound bad. Joking. If I have to be in time, then I put an alarm clock to the last moment. Alarm clocks are atomic bombs, but a real problem is this. Alarm clocks wake up cats. Cats want to be happy. A thought is that it is impossible to follow more than one of those recommendations at a time. I cannot focus on more than one thing at a time. To follow more than one recommendation is mentally burdening. I can neglect those recommendations except one. I picked to rest instead of entertainment. A thought is that those recommendations resemble life in the Stone Age, my body is adapted to the Stone Age, and I need to do what my ancestors did. That is why those recommendations work. Gatherers and hunters were active and spent time outside. Active means that people were tired by the end of the day. Outside means that people breathed fresh air and were in sun more. It is said that 99% of plants are inedible. It is said that plants do not fruit all the time. People had to save their profit. There were no soda drinks, no toilet, no light bulbs at night, no oil, no flavor enhancers, no narcotics, and no alarm clocks. No toilet means that people pooped in a natural pose. In a documentary, I saw that tribal people clean teeth too, yeah, with sticks and even have a toothpaste. It is said that moles spend life under earth and do not see what is 2 meters away. And giraffes eat tree leaves and atoll. Do not see because it is dark under earth and vision is not needed. It is said that the Stone Age lasted most of human existence. People are adapted, I am adapted, in a similar way to moles and giraffes. A thought is that wild animals live similarly to their ancestors and are not unhappy, like in the Stone Age. There are cats who do not play virtual games. There are even cats who cannot register an online game account. By the way, expecting to like is not worse than to like itself. Expecting that a new car will bring happiness is not worse than having that car. That car will not change a thing. By the way, if I like, then afterwards I gradually stop liking. Gradually. By the way, I worry that I will fail at doing what I think is important, so I do not do it. I do entertainment. I am a coward. If I rest instead of entertainment, then I do not worry because I have another goal to rest instead of entertainment. By the way, there are minor achievements during doing what I think is important. I like those achievements. Every paragraph in this text was an achievement for me. By the way, people evade sun, though sun is needed for vitamin D. I thought that the only benefit of smoking is being in sun, but then I noticed that smokers evade sun too. By the way, by vitamin D, I mean D3. It is said that there is also D2. It is said that some mushrooms contain D2. It is said that people absorb D2 worse. I ate mushrooms with D2. I do not remember any effect. By the way, vitamin D can be felt, not only through mood improvement. Maybe vitamin D can be felt because it is said that vitamin D affects muscles. When I get vitamin D, I feel that I become more active. A built-in blood test. By the way, in order to lower inflation, money can be put short term in what people think is cool and long term in gold. What people think is cool is high technology. There is inflation. It is said that in a state, inflation was so big that people had to have a cut of money to buy groceries. People gave money emptying that cart and put groceries in that cart. Smart. How did those smart people get that inflation? Joking. Money has to do with a ruler's whim. Gold has to do with work. Gold has to be mined and mining is work. Gold was used as money. It is difficult to destroy customs. It is said that gold is rare. There are about 40 grams of gold per person. Coffee is addictive. There will be more and more coffee addicts. Coffee will cost more. Is it evil to put money in coffee? Yeah, if people put money in one thing, then there would be an economic bubble. Then money should be put in bankruptcy law firms. Joking. By the way, businessmen use that people like things like flavor enhancers. More and more salt and more sugar is put in processed food. It is said that some ingredient in marijuana causes addiction. It is said that marijuana is deliberately grown to contain more and more of that ingredient. By the way, I should not even start taking narcotics. It is said that one cigarette causes addiction, not only one shot of heroin. Alcohol causes addiction. It is said that where I live, 76% of people drink alcohol every day. It is said that the older people are, the stronger drink they take, from beer to vodka. Moms worldwide are right with their "do not drink." Moms know it based on themselves. Joking. By the way, doctors can say that smoking and drinking is okay to make patients return to those doctors, to give those doctors money. I like when I'm allowed to do everything. It is said that addicts live half a year after starting taking a heavy drug. What I like in narcotics is that I can start taking them and die fast. Joking. By the way, parents get no happiness from kids. Why? Kids are 100% pleasure, starting from giving birth. If parents do not want kids to grow up addicts, then parents should put effort into kids. Effort. Kids are different people. Kids are not made to pleasure parents. Anyway, the best piece of advice for happiness recommendation is if it works, do not touch it. About mechanisms. Joking. And yeah, all the best. Be happy.